Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Dr. Tracy Smiley-Thomas and today I'm going to be talking to you about embracing you. In this video, I will be providing you with 3 essential tips. These tips are important for helping you to assess and address just how you feel about yourself. Understanding how you feel about yourself is essential and important, and it's actually your foundational base and is tied to your success and your growth. So what might be these 3 tips you might ask? Tip number 1, I embrace who I am. Do you really embrace who you are? Are you really comfortable with who you are? Have you really embraced yourself? Tip number 2, I embrace who God created me to be. And tip number 3, I am enough. So let's take a couple of minutes and break each one of these tips down. Tip number 1, I embrace who I am. When you wake up every day, are you happy with who you are? Are you content with who you are? With what you're doing? Do you really embrace who you are? That's important, because embracing who you are, that means you're comfortable with yourself. That means you accept yourself. That means you're pleased with yourself. So you should wake up every day just embracing who you are. Tip number 2. Tip number 2 says, I embrace who God created me to be. Knowing who God created you to be is very important because it's the key to your destiny. It's the key to your life. It's the key to being successful. It's the keys to accomplishing your goals and your dreams. Because when you know who God created you to be, that means you're going to be moving with purpose. You're going to be moving in the direction that God has placed you in, or God has directed you to go in. Tip number 3. Tip number 3, I am enough. It's important to understand that who God created you to be is enough. You do not have to conform to what someone else wants you to be, who someone else thinks you should be, what someone else thinks you should be doing, or just the direction that someone else has already tried to map out for your life. You have to know that you are enough. You don't have to alter your face, your hair, your body, or your clothes. You don't have to say, well, if I had this job, or if I lived in this house, or if I drove this car, although it's nothing wrong with wanting those things, you have to know and understand that by yourself and of yourself, you are enough, because all those other things will be added into you. So being comfortable with who you are, who you were created to be, is very important. So I want you to take the next 24 hours or so, just spend some time with yourself, away from everybody, everything. Get you a cup of tea, cup of coffee if that's what you drink. Get in a quiet place, maybe play you some soft music. Get you a notebook or a pad. And just when you think about, say, when I think about me, what do I think about? Write those things down, whether they're good or bad. Write those things down. Maybe make a list. These are things I like about myself. These are things I don't like about myself. And then look at the list and analyze each one of them. But at the end of the day, it's important for you to understand that you are enough. It's important that you accept yourself. You don't have to do anything just to be accepted. You don't have to change who you are just to be loved or to be invited. You are enough. And if a person or people can't accept who you are, or you have to alter to who you are just to be in their presence, they're telling you you're not enough. You're not enough. You're not enough unless you conform to what I want you to be. But I'm here to tell you today, I want you to embrace who you are, because you were created just like you are. You were created for success. You were created with a destiny. You were created with promise. God has placed so many things inside of you. But if you don't embrace who you are, it's going to be very difficult for you to understand your purpose, because your purpose is tied to who you are. So if you start to get away from who you are, or who God created you to be, then what you're doing is getting away from your purpose. Focus on yourself this week and understand and know embracing yourself is good. Knowing who you are is important, but accepting who you are is even more so. Again, as your empowerment coach, this is Dr. T, and I always say empty cups can't fill empty cups.